Episode 9 of Refreshed. I'm Jonathan,
I'm Wes.
and we are deep diving into the post-Thanksgiving, pre-Christmas era. So, hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, I did. How about you?
Fantastic food. I'm already looking forward to Christmas food. Did you have something that stood out food-wise? I know we chimed in what our favorites were. Did you get any of your favorites?
Yeah, I did. I got some of the dressing, but,
Yeah.
I've learned that I'm more of a ham person.
Ham.
Unless it's the honey-baked ham
Really?
turkey.
Wow.
Yeah, just the regular turkey.
Well, what turned you on to ham opposed to turkey?
Just like ham better, I guess.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's a shocker to me. I like a good turkey that'll just fall apart with the gravy and the dressing. Big on that.
Maybe we'll do barbecue next year.
I think we're okay.
Smoked turkey?
Smoked turkey's pretty good. I like
think.
smoked turkey. Smoked turkey's good. A little turkey, a little venison, a little lean meat, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, so Thanksgiving went fantastic. So we're leading into Christmas. So obviously I had to go get some Christmas attire for the house, the decorations and the Christmas gifts. Are you there yet? I mean, obviously I've seen you got the decorations up.
Yep.
Post Thanksgiving.
I got, I think we have just about everybody bought for except for maybe 2 or 3 folks.
Is it in person or online? What's your go-to?
I would prefer to be in person, but I think some of these are going to have to be specially ordered because I just can't get them in store.
I feel that. Unfortunately, I feel the same way, and I had to go online, and I think I told you, but I ordered from a certain place, and everything was right, and they canceled my order. So I've never had that happen personally. I've heard horror stories of it, with the Cyber Mondays, the Black Fridays, all these deals. And then if you get it canceled, you're not going to get that deal again.
Right.
Which is making me irate, but, you got to turn a corner, you got to pivot and find a solution. So I ultimately found a solution, not my favorite solution, but I guess that's just growing up and Christmas shopping. I find it funny now. It's like looking at gifts for myself. Kind of, it's like, oh, well, that's being a grown up. It's like, oh, well, I want this toy. I want this toy. I want this toy. And but you gotta check the budget.
It's very true.
I find the same way with vacationing too. That could be the new toy as an adult. It's like, oh, I want to go somewhere nice. I want to go skiing. I want to go to the beach. It's like, well, is that okay? Is that gonna fit in budget? Is it gonna fit timeline? I don't know who's gonna go.
What would Clark Howard do?
If Clark Howard saw what I spent money on,
you'd be in trouble.
He wouldn't be alive. He would have a heart attack. He'd say, "You got ramen, you got sushi, you got
on the same day
pizza." Oh yeah, some days, yeah, multiple times. Really been on a bad sushi kick recently. I don't know if that's bad or good.
Yeah, shout out Asian Fusion.
Asian Fusion has been good for me, and also Revolving Sushi Factory. Had a little roommate date there the other day. Phenomenal service.
Yeah. Local food plug.
They've got shout out. They're franchise. They got several locations. Revolving Sushi Factory. They had the Pat McAfee show going on a big screen, not just TVs.
Yeah.
You can separate and all that. It's just a fun experience. You talk about being a grown up and kind of that childlike wonder. You go order you some sushi and a train pops up. Man, that is exciting. And I had some good ramen today.
Okay.
Very good filling. So hot soup during a cold winter. The Atlanta 50 degrees to 30 degrees is settled in here, which draws me back to wanting to go spend money on a hot beach vacation. Yeah. Not forever, just enough to warm up and come back and enjoy the weather. But moving on to the Christmas gifts, moving on to the Christmas day. I guess we're coming up on it. I guess how fast after Christmas do you take the decorations down?
Usually pretty quick.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get the house back in order,
Do you have outside exterior lights and all that going on?
This year I do not.
Oh, okay. See, I'm under the impression I get, the first few days afterwards, you want to start taking them down.
Yeah.
But I think the last thing to go is the exterior lights.
Probably.
It's kind of just a little heartfelt warmness, I guess. Hey, we're still celebrating over here a little bit.
The electric company thanks you for keeping those outside lights on.
You know what? They can keep the 45 cents. I could care less. moving on to other exciting Christmas presents, college football playoffs. So we just had our exciting unveiling of 1 through 12. Are there any teams that you don't think are deserving?
I guess I just thinking about it. I had one gripe.
Yep.
So they said they be in the committee.
Mm-hmm.
These championship games aren't going to, they're not going to go factor in that much. But
Okay.
apparently it did for BYU, but it didn't for Alabama.
Okay.
Alabama got railroaded, and they didn't change their ranking at all. BYU railroaded, and they're out. So I guess it just the lack of consistency was a bit alarming.
Well, by the book, I guess. Would you say that's by my money, or would you say Alabama would destroy BYU?
I don't know. Alabama looked awful, but they were playing Georgia. So again, I don't know.
I am in the personal
But-
opinion. I think Georgia would railroad Indiana or Ohio State. I don't think Indiana
I guess
has
we'll
the
see
depth.
later in the bracket, but I just don't know with Alabama being a 3-loss team. I know that third loss came in the championship game, but it just seems.
I think they got their footing a lot later, and I think good football teams do that.
Yeah, but -3 rushing yards in the championship game is nothing to brag
They were
about.
missing tight end, running back.
It's
I mean, next man up, I guess, SEC. But again, you are playing probably. I would argue Georgia is coming onto their own, much into the same.
Oh, for sure.
End of the season. I think there's no. I did fully believe Ohio State was not nearly as good as they told us, and Indiana same way. They play. Who was that one guy that played for Ohio State and Alabama? And he's like, yeah, in the SEC you play big dogs every week.
Right.
He said you go to the Big Ten, you play big dogs 4 to 5 times a season, maybe.
Right.
You get to rest up. But when you're competitively playing these guys, you're getting beat up. So I am okay with Alabama getting in over BYU. I get the standards and all that, but I think BYU would be crushed by those kind of teams. Because
I guess just those other teams that you saw the rankings 1 through 25. Like what differentiates some of those other
I don't
ones
think
then,
after 12, I don't think there's any. It could matter. It couldn't matter any less. I honestly think.
And congrats to JMU, but going up to Oregon for that game is going to be. I don't think that's going to be very pretty. Stuff like that.
I think Oregon is good. I don't think they're as good as we're giving them credit for either, though. Obviously, losing to Indiana, you can't be that good. Losing Indiana at home, and Indiana is clinical. They are good. We'll see how good. I still don't think they're.
But do you think that James Madison has the same depth that Oregon does?
No, they have the. So I would make the argument that maybe Kennesaw State would be able to compete with James Madison more than.
Yeah.
Because they had the 99th toughest schedule, and James Madison had the 123rd toughest schedule. Mm-hmm. So no wins over the top 40 teams. So I'm excited to see what happens. Tulane's keeping it hot. North Texas is keeping it hot. Unfortunately, they in their little championship game with both the coaches losing, being gone. I think it helped out Summerall. I think Summerall's an even better coach. He's an honest coach. Even just 2 weeks ago, he's like, Tulane is not a good team. He's like, why are we getting considered for the playoffs? And here he is. Right after he said that, he got hired by Florida, and he made the playoffs. So
right.
We'll jump into that really fast. But basically, I just wanted to list off. We've got JMU, Oregon. Mm-hmm. Who you got?
Oregon.
Okay. I take Oregon as well there. Tulane, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
All right. I take Ole Miss. I think it will be interesting having Golding at the helm opposed to Lane Kiffin. I think Tulane could catch them off guard maybe in the first quarter. They don't have near the depth to take them. Right. I think Retzlaff is very talented, but after seeing him get smacked, I think it was like 45-10 in the regular season. I think it's honestly, and I am a Tulane dynasty member. They are my squad. I'm a ride or die, but they're about to get smacked again. We got Miami and TAMU. You think A&M or Carson Beck?
Probably A&M.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be close.
Really?
I do.
I'm going to go ahead and say A&M by at least 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
We got Bama and Oklahoma rematch as well.
Oklahoma.
Really?
I think so.
Wow. Okay,
Ty Simpson has not looked like a good quarterback.
I'm gonna say Alabama. I think they get it back together. I think Alabama's got it. I think it's hard to beat a good team twice in one season, and I think we saw that with Bama and Georgia. I think we're gonna see that again with Bama and Oklahoma. I think they beat them early in the season when Mateer really had full strength, and he's broken his hand since then. I mean they're good. They're good. They're beating good teams, but I don't think they're at the peak of. I think their peak was at the beginning of the season when they beat Alabama. I don't know. Again, but it's good to see them in the SEC because they're actually having to get beat up and go through the ringer every single game. There's no games off any given Saturday. And then you're gonna say Oregon versus Texas Tech. Who you got?
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is that just like depth wise? Is there something that they just seem stronger?
Texas Tech, their offense clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Defense also forcing turnovers, fumbles, things like that.
Rodriguez, that linebacker, he was phenomenal.
I think their defense is caught up to their high-powered offense.
Okay.
I think they're one to look out for.
I'm gonna call the dark horse. I'm gonna go Oregon. I think
after you just said that they're not as good as people think.
I would throw Texas Tech into that argument too. Who have they been playing?
I mean,
Houston, BYU,
yeah,
Utah. I'm gonna go Oregon. I think Oregon. I think Dan Lanning has got a more depth. I would say.
Dan
we'll
Lanning's
see.
All bark, no bite.
I mean, I think they were very surprised by Indiana. I think Indiana came out very.
Indiana is very well coached, very well prepared for every game that they go into.
Absolutely clinical, yeah.
So,
but I would say I would take Oregon's talent over Indiana's talent any day. But yeah, they definitely are way more clinical than anybody they played this season, which is shown. If you're undefeated, you're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm gonna go Oregon against Texas Tech.
Okay.
You got Ole Miss versus Georgia rematch.
Georgia.
Okay, I choose Georgia on that, especially with Golding at the helm. So you chose a close A&M. Mm-hmm. So A&M over Ohio State.
That one I'm not sure. Probably Ohio State, to be honest with you.
I'm riding A&M. They looked phenomenal all season. I mean, even like when they went down 28-0, maybe in 21-0 against like Kentucky, they still came back and won.
Ohio State's defense did look. They were giving Indiana's offense fits. So that would be where I'm coming from.
I think it's going to be a much different game than Indiana because I believe Klein, that's the quarterback there at A&M, he's a mobile quarterback. He's not just a stiff pocket passer. I think he's going to easily run around the defenders there. And then you chose Oklahoma. Yes. So who do you say? Oklahoma, Indiana?
Indiana.
All right, I'm going to choose Bama, and I choose Bama over Indiana too. So I think they're just going to get stronger over time. They're going to get.
I think you like Nick Saban.
I don't think Nick Saban has anything to do with them anymore.
He's still employed by the university.
I don't think he has anything to do with them. I think there's just a strength there that, I mean, it's
they're going to have to get to people healthy, though.
Yes, and they will. And they're in the playoffs now. They've got 3 weeks in between everything. You know what I mean? Like, this is huge. Like they're gonna be so much stronger than they were against Georgia. Like, yeah, I think that'll be fun. So, I'm gonna go Bama on that one. So you've got you chose Texas Tech and Indiana. So they'll play. If that's up to you, what do you got? Texas Tech, Indiana.
That I don't know. Now we're going too far. I'm gonna have to.
You have to see. Well, we'll just make your prediction here. Just way too early prediction.
I'll say Indiana. Just for
all right. You got Indiana, and then you've got Georgia and Ohio State. That's what you picked.
I'll do Georgia on that one.
All right. So you got Indiana, Georgia.
And then I guess I'll go Georgia.
All right. I like it. So I will take. I had Oregon playing Bama. I'm gonna choose Bama.
Wow.
I think I'm in the minority here, and I'm okay with that. I think they have a stronger schedule. I think they have a stronger depth chart.
They're gonna call you on College Game Day to defend this.
So. They better. That would be very convenient.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna take obviously Georgia over Ohio State because
apparently the Ohio State kicker doesn't know how to kick. It's happened against Georgia. It happened
Yeah.
against Indiana. So
And then I'll take Georgia over Bama, just based on
So Georgia and Bama's going to play 3 times this year.
if we're lucky. Yeah,
Wow.
if we're lucky. Yeah, the TV ratings will be pretty good. I think. I don't think they'll
In
be.
the Southeast, yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, I think ultimately people will tune in if it's like. I can imagine. I don't know who's the big. Miami's brings big vision. Bama brings vision.
Ohio State will.
Ohio State will for sure. That's why I'm shocked that Notre Dame didn't make it in. They're a horrible team. I mean, sorry, Liam. They're not horrible. They're an average team.
Well, Notre Dame's going to have to join a conference.
I 100% think they should join a conference.
So-
It's way too late for them just to be. So they're complaining about the ACC pushing for Miami to get in,
Right.
but then they're allegedly they're mad at that, but they're getting ACC money.
Mm-hmm.
So if they got in, ACC would get no money for them advancing, but they would. But then they have an NBC deal that nobody else has.
Right.
So how are you crying about not getting money? You're trying to get money from everybody without spending any money, and it's just it's very corrupt. They need to allegedly look into their deals and join a conference. I don't know if it's ACC. Obviously not anymore. They got to buy out, I think, 40 million, 50 million to get out of the ACC. It'd probably be the Big Ten, honestly, if they get into anybody. But I think their heads are so far dug in the sand. They're going to hold out and never join. I mean, for the next couple, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Especially because they were promised the next year
Right.
they get to have a 12 seed. If they're a top 12 seed, they get in or whatever. But there's going to be 16 teams next year.
Yeah. Now, it's starting to be just like the March Madness. Like,
Yes.
everybody gets a shot. And
It's for sure no. Which brings me to the next thing. Everybody getting a shot means, is it just constantly going to be a coaching carousel like it was this year?
Could be.
So it's just always, I mean, growing up, my sister went to Cincinnati, so I'm watching like Chip Kelly was, or not Chip Kelly, I'm sorry, Brian Kelly.
Right.
And then what do we have? I forget his name now.
Fickle.
No, well, he did leave for Wisconsin. He should have done that. But before that, the Butch Jones.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, these top tier coaches, and he's at like Arkansas State now. He really fell off. But just bouncing, which I got the list compiled, and I've loved it because I've kind of followed these guys recently. Obviously, what's our Indiana coach's name? Cignetti. So obviously Cignetti was at James Madison. Which is incredible to see. Now we got Bob Chesney, who replaced him, this real young guy. And he came from Troy and it made Troy like a semi-decent team, and then went to JMU, and JMU has been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So he went and took the UCLA job.
Mm-hmm.
You think he's good there, Bob Chesney?
I don't have.
I think he's going to be good.
Way.
I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be great as long as they can control the NIL there. I think there's really deep pockets out there.
Yeah.
Even Troy Aikman said, though, he's done with NIL.
Right.
He paid for the last quarterback.
Nico.
Yeah, and he went and he. No.
The previous one.
More, something more, and he went.
Yeah.
He went to Oregon. He's Oregon's quarterback now.
Okay. Yeah.
So they lost that. We got USF Auburn. Alex Golish.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Alex Golish.
Okay.
He had some deep coaching roots, and then USF South Florida was nobody.
Right.
And they got lucky. They did have a phenomenal quarterback. 2 years ago, he was out last year, and then they were not as good last year. And then this year, they're phenomenal when he was back. And I think there's correlation with good coaches and good quarterbacks, as we've seen through history. Just kind of the classic Bill Belichick epitome. So I think I don't know. Are you indifferent on that one as well?
Yeah. There's not very many that I have opinions on.
Eric Morris, North Texas to Oklahoma State. Yeah. So they've got that.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good hire.
Yeah, they've got that 24-year-old student that's gone from being like the equipment manager to the general manager. So they brought in a ton. Mesterberger, he'll probably follow his coach out to Oklahoma State. I think he'll be phenomenal there. I think that's an exciting hire for Oklahoma State. As much as I wish it would have been Zach Robinson from the Falcons. Unfortunately, he didn't take his alma mater's job. We got Southern Miss to Memphis, Charles Huff. So that's That's really impressive because he was at Marshall last year when they did phenomenal, and
Okay.
they still parted ways with him. But I think that Memphis will always kind of be like a
Yeah.
mid-tier.
Yeah.
And jumping from Oregon's offensive coordinator Will Stein goes to Kentucky.
Okay.
So I think, I mean, not that they've had the strongest offense, but it's hard to replace. I mean, Bob Stoops was a good coach, and I know Kentuckians ripped him apart saying he was not good enough, which is tough because you're Kentucky. Like,
Basketball.
it's a basketball school, yes. It's.
But a couple of years ago, they were doing pretty well.
I would say
best
that
remember.
right. Lexington is phenomenal, very nice place. I would say they're in the middle of nowhere, but I mean Tuscaloosa's in the middle of nowhere,
Right, exactly.
so you can't have that excuse. So I think Kentucky ultimately can have a really strong football team if they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a great stadium, great city.
Well, as you saw again with Indiana, it just a regime change could, start it
The
all.
right people at the right place at the right time
Mhm.
can cause a fire. So I think, yeah, that would be really, really cool to see. That's all I always dreamed about Georgia Tech. We always thought, they were so close. I don't think they'll be this close again in several years. But we can dream. I mean, I'll get to Georgia Tech a little bit later, but we saw today Chip Kelly was on campus interviewing for the offensive coordinator position.
Oh,
So that should be exciting. I think he's been held back. He's been hampered. NFL said you can't be crazy. These big time colleges that he's the head coach of, he has no authority to be crazy. But if you're not the guy to get blamed, like you let loose, Buster Faulkner let these offensive plays go wild with Georgia Tech. So
yeah.
he'll be exciting at Florida as the offensive coordinator. Buster Faulkner will.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to seeing that. That'll be kind of the last one I'll get to for Florida. But Texas A&M's offensive coordinator, Colin Klein, many of you that are our age will probably remember him from being a Heisman finalist for Kansas State. Now he just got hired at Kansas State for the head coaching position. So he's a big part of that reason that quarterback at A&M has been, because he's been there. He's seen that dual threat quarterback. I'm excited about that. We got Iowa State to Penn State, Matt Campbell. So Penn State was really just a barren wasteland,
They struck out on all the other coaches
and players. They have a bottom 3 class going into next year, which is horrible. So awful. So they're going to really have to ante up their pockets and go buy some transfers, which is funny to say in college football at this point.
Yeah.
But I think that's a phenomenal hire. I don't know how much money. I haven't looked at the details, but to pry that guy away. I mean, coaching Brock Purdy like that, and he was basically crying when he was graduating. Like, this guy is a leader. So you're getting that into Penn State. That's exactly what James Franklin is a leader of a man. I think you need that when you're going to coach a team. And obviously you got the James Franklin, Penn State to Virginia Tech. He basically took every player away from Penn State which says a lot about the man. I think there's more to money.
It seems like the ACC is open. So
yeah, I am excited for Virginia. I've waited for Virginia Tech to be back. They're exciting. That entrance is super cool. So I think that's a huge hire for Virginia Tech as well. And the one I was probably most excited about was Tulane, John Summerall to Florida. So he's going to be a character on the national media circuit.
And that's what Florida needs.
Yeah, so he's a bit of a not Lane Kiffin Jr., but he knows how to talk to the media. He knows how to post on social media.
Yeah.
He's getting after it. Good at marketing himself and his team, and very honest, which is hard to come by and coaching nowadays. Not just we need to run the ball better, we need to stop the ball better.
Right.
Yeah, so he's actually a character, a likable character at that. And then we got obviously Lane Kiffin. So going to coach his allegedly future son-in-law, Whit Weeks. It's his daughter's there most weekends now. I think the AD is at fault. I think Lane Kiffin could have chosen to handle things a lot better. But I think at the end of the day, they didn't let him stay either, which they should have let him. I think there's no telling.
I think we found out that Lane Kiffin really likes Lane Kiffin.
We knew that, though. We knew that.
And there was like that sliver of hope, like, maybe he'll just stay and build the program. Nah.
We had that last year, and we got that when they did their contract extension, but they didn't. So He likes himself. He likes himself some yoga, and he likes himself the ladies allegedly.
So
I don't know if any of those are true DM leaks or not, but it's been fun regardless. Having that coaching carousel, it's like a young Bill Belichick, honestly.
but he'll be able to recruit. He doesn't have to bring in people with
Oh
NIL like he
yeah,
did at Ole Miss. So
yes, yeah. LSU is a different animal.
yeah,
You are not bigger than the school. Whereas at Ole Miss, he was bigger than the school.
right.
I unfortunately I don't think Golding will have as good a tenure as Lane had, which sucks.
Yeah.
But that's business. Um, and as of today, Sharon Moore got fired from Michigan, so I don't know who they'll get to because he was literally like just the intern for Harbaugh. So I don't know who if they're gonna. They have to go outside hire now. You have to clean house after that.
Well, I mean, with it being so close to, now you gotta do all the transfers and
Yeah.
stuff. Do you just put someone in the interim while you're searching?
Yeah. You do that while you're interim. You'll hire a coach in the early spring, but they obviously knew that this
But all
was
the coaches are hired, so
well. They knew he was at fault enough at whatever that they would be able to replace. It wasn't like, oh, let's just, stuff him in a suitcase,
Right.
kind of like we'll bring him back later. Like they knew that he did something wrong, and they would be able to replace him though. It wasn't.
I mean, not like Michigan was top dog this year.
I think 9-3. They're playing Texas in their bowl game, which
Yeah.
is going to be. I mean, Texas and Michigan. That's going to bring some eyes,
Yeah.
national media attention. Now it's going to bring even more.
Right.
So if Michigan wins their bowl game, I think they just promote from within. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think that
Very
would be
true.
an easy promotion for them. But yeah, so that kind of wraps up our playoffs, our coaching carousel. That stuff is so exciting to me. That's especially with the boys. We're in that dynasty league right now. Any given Saturday, it's really, I mean, NFL. You see the betting and all. I mean, in college, it's getting just like that.
Yep.
But you see the betting lines, and you see the kickers missing. You see the coaches not choosing to throw kickers out there, and it's like this is all like. In MLB, you see pitchers throwing in the dirt, and they're getting arrested for it's everything is a money line now.
Right.
Whether you choose to believe it or not, I think everybody is kind of got they're pulling the blanket off their eyes. And college football and hopefully college basketball are two of the only things that you really, don't know what to expect. So I think that's why I like this is because the recruiting, the passion that goes into that, and the fan bases. You can't buy those kind of fans. Like whereas the NFL is just all bought, Whereas I'll transition into the last kind of football talk I'll talk about is the Falcons. I happen to grace the horrors that keep us awake at night, known as the Falcons. This past Sunday, 6-6 at halftime, and they ended up losing 37-9. So that was a pretty miserable experience because the Seahawks looked like trash, anyways. But special teams errors, but we refused to fire him because he's the best friend. And then it's coming out that Ray McLeod was saying that there was all kinds of hoopla going on behind the scenes, and that's why the wide receivers coach was fired early in the season. It just seems like Raheem Morris doesn't have. We've been over this. He doesn't have control of the locker room. Rich McKay doesn't have control over anything else in there, and Arthur Blank has no control over anything. So it's just really, I would say House of Cards, but I don't know. That's giving too much credit to the House of Cards. Really just Pine Straw or something like that. So it's very fickle. It's very flaky. I have no faith in the Falcons at this point.
No,
I don't think I ever really will until there's huge changes. They're just collecting checks.
It's frustrating that you see the Falcons and the Panthers kind of going in opposite directions.
Because we all know they have a horrible owner. The Panthers have one of the worst owners in sports, and we know that.
Right.
And they're doing better than us.
Apparently, it goes down to coaching. I don't know. I mean,
maybe they've been. Yeah, I guess they were able to. Hear me out. I would say that's more management because they're running it like a business.
right.
They're saying, "Oh, we'll get the right people in the right place," and the Falcons are saying, "Well, we just want to have happy-go-lucky, good culture.
Our boy.
Yeah, we want."
Got him.
Yeah, we got Heem. So I mean, Dan Quinn was just quote of a guy, anyways.
Yeah, Coach Bro.
Yeah, it's the same situation, and he just inherited, Mike Smith's roster. So until we get somebody like Vrabel, who we declined, or Harbaugh, who we declined, or Belichick, who we declined. I mean, again, Belichick at the college level.
We interviewed them all.
Yeah, and we declined them all, I think. There's no way they all said no to us.
Correct.
We would have gotten a good coach, but we wanted to keep everybody safe and happy. Yeah, we keep Coach Heem, our guy, who has the worst coach speech I've ever heard.
We'll get that fixed.
We talked about John Summerall being honest and open and a great coach, leader. Like, I don't think Raheem is anything like that.
No.
So that's pretty depressing. Moving on. I mean, last of the sports, we kind of got the Braves. Nothing really going on in the Braves camp. We're still waiting.
They just finished the winter meetings, so
we're still waiting. But everybody else is starting to make moves.
Mm-hmm.
Diaz going to the Dodgers.
Yep.
Pete
Alonso went to the Orioles.
Orioles. That is a couple years ago. I thought the Orioles were going to be sold to, China. I don't know.
They lost their first baseman O'Hearn to the Padres, so they need to kind of fill that spot. Good luck to Pete Alonso. Glad he's not having to play the Braves now against the Mets. So that helps.
That does help. We'll see what happens. I'm still in a dark horse. I think that Volpe will be on the Braves as a shortstop.
I don't think so.
It'd be cool. I think he's gonna shine where the lights aren't shining. And the Braves, we're Atlanta. We don't have bright lights. We don't have big media.
Shine in Kansas City.
No, what do you mean? They got Bobby Witt Jr.
He can be the second base.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
that guy stinks.
That's it for the sports, I guess. I'm a big movie buff recently. Zootopia 2. Another tackled the cultural issues. Not as good as the first one, but they really dug into acceptance of different species in their little Zootopia and what happened. And it was good. Michael Giacchino, the score. It was good. I recommend that one.
Okay.
My movie of the week. I'll skip over that. I saw Jujutsu Kaisen, which is just a recap of the final few seasons, and then it shows you kind of like a 30-minute preview. Basically, it just blends it all. It's like a giant, like maybe an hour and a half trailer.
Okay.
Story is phenomenal. If you're going to check out that's one of the ones to check out. Very exciting. But my movie of the week, movie of the month, I guess, would probably be Rental Family with Brendan Fraser by Hakiri. They show you, all kinds of wild cultural like things that you're just like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know. That's confusing. That can't end well. That's not going to. And then it just a very peaceful transition into Brendan Fraser, who's very lonely, has no, his family's kind of passed, and he's in the country alone by himself, just to kind of escape all that, which is very relatable, trying to just come to peace. And he finds it through like the most different ways that you can imagine. So hopefully Brendan Fraser gets some Academy nominations for that one. And hopefully the movie does it as well. I walked out of that, feeling like, well, that's pretty neat. So, I mean, it could have been a lot better, I think, too. At the same, it's cool to think it was that good, and it still could have had a lot more going on there. So check out Rental Family, and if you're, it's probably an adult audience, I would say.
Okay.
And then we got upcoming blockbusters, SpongeBob and Avatar.
Okay.
So that's what you have to look forward to. I don't know if you've been checking out any movies or anything.
No.
We went to one recently.
Yeah, we did see The Running Man. And that one was all right.
It was all right. It was all right.
I enjoyed the premise.
Yes.
It's just the pacing was a bit off.
I tell you, go read the book for me. And then
you read the book.
I have much more important much more important motivation, theological books to dig into. But I think that's. Does anybody in the Peanut Gallery have anything? We got a crowd of thousands out there right now just witnessing this. No, nothing. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Sold. That is episode 9 of Refreshed. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Wes.